welcome to Ranger Ruby YouTube channel. In today's video, I'll be going over why I like national parks and how I got into them. Let's go ahead and dive right on in. So I've been doing this YouTube channel for years now, and I've never gone over how I first got into national parks and why I like them. So that's what I decided to do in today's video. Before I even knew what national parks were, I always said in elementary school and middle school that my favorite subject to learn was geography. And yes, I really enjoyed looking at and learning about maps. I always collected road atlases, but I specifically really liked learning about facts and things about places that weren't where I was. And I'm not quite sure how old I was when this would happen, but the first national park I ever went to, or that I ever consciously remember going to, was Minuteman National Military Park, because I did at one point live in Concord, Massachusetts, which is where the park is. And we'd go there a lot. We'd spend a lot of time at that park. We would do the Junior Ranger booklet, and there they give you a Junior Ranger badge and a Junior Ranger patch, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. So that kind of sparked me liking the national parks. But where it really burst into flames was at this class that I took for my homeschool co-op. It was a class all about national parks, and on the very first day, my teacher introduced me to something that would actually change my life forever. She told me about this program called the Flat Stanley or Flat Ranger program. I've made many videos about this before, but if you don't know, it's basically where you print out this little color-in ranger, you color it in, you send it off with a letter to the national parks, and the national parks will send you stuff back. So immediately, as soon as I got home, I colored in my ranger. I named her Junior Ranger Claire, and then I sent her off to Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. I was excited to get this letter back, but I thought it was going to take forever. I didn't think it was going to happen. I didn't think it would be cool when it happened, but boy was I surprised. Just 9 days later, that's right, 9 days later, they sent me back a letter. And it wasn't just any Flat Ranger letter. Sometimes the Flat Ranger letters aren't exactly the most effort put into them, but sometimes they're really fun and elaborate. You can tell the Rangers really had fun making them. At Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, what they did for me is they took a picture of my ranger in front of a volcano. They sent me a postcard, and they sent me all sorts of wonderful things, and they signed the back of my ranger. There is a picture of me when I first got the letter back. I'm holding it, and I'm holding my ranger, and I didn't have braces yet, so my teeth are all crooked and wonky, but I just have the biggest smile on my face. This program got me hooked. At one point, I think I was sending out 9 Flat Rangers at a time. I just loved the thrill of sending out a Flat Ranger and getting something back in the mail. It just made my day. I collected binders and binders worth of Flat Ranger letters. I made videos about them. You can totally check them out. They are a little old, so do with that what you will. And of course, because my parents saw this interest, as we would go up and down the East Coast, they would help me visit national parks. So a majority of the national parks that I visited early in my life were all the historical parks on the Eastern Coast. I really sort of grew an attachment to the historical parks. They were some of my favorite parks that I visited, like Gettysburg and Antietam, all the Civil War and Revolutionary War battlefields, as well as other national parks about things that I literally had no clue about, such as Carl Sandburg National Historical Park. This park is about a poet, Carl Sandburg, and there I visited that national park and I got to meet the ranger that wrote my letter, which was cool. And we also made a purchase that changed my life. We got my Junior Ranger vest, and that defined my persona for years. I would put all my badges in that vest, I would put little knickknacks in that vest. I carried and wore that vest everywhere. It's in a lot of my videos, and I even made a video about me no longer wearing the vest, because as much as I would love to, I'm not wearing that vest every day for the rest of my life. Another cool instance was I got to meet the ranger who wrote my letter from Antietam National Park, and she was the one who gave me the Junior Ranger badge, and that was a really cool moment too. And finally, one of the last cool ranger moment or experiences that I had was my sister used to work at Starbucks, and she saw a ranger come in, and the ranger wrote her a note that said, "Hey, never stop following your dreams," something along the lines of that, and then gave me her email, and I wrote her some emails, and she was very nice and very lovely to me. Eventually, I had so much love pent up about these national parks that I had to tell people, and my family was kind of sick about hearing it at that point. So they suggested that I make a video and send it to my grandparents. Now, of course, it is kind of impossible to send a 45-minute keep like video over an email, so I posted it on YouTube. I had so much fun making these YouTube videos that I just made more and more and more, and eventually I came up with a schedule and a way to do things that I love. Where on Tuesdays I'd do these fun videos about whatever I wanted about the national parks, and then Fridays I would pick a national park and do Fun Fact Friday, and I would give some fun facts about that national park. The reason that I love national parks is because you don't have to be anyone to learn about them. You could be a child, you could be an adult, you could be a senior, you could be young, old, it doesn't matter. You can work at the national parks, you don't have to know anything about the national parks. They're easily accessible and open to everyone. They also cover a vast amount of history and science. It's not just one thing. It's not just the history and it's not just the science. It's the combination of both of them. So if you're new here, I would really appreciate it if you subscribed, and you can help me and join me as I learn more about the National Park Service. Well, everybody, that's the end in today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give this video a huge thumbs up and comment down below with your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you. Also, be sure to click that red subscribe button and a little bell next one to always know when to post new videos. Thank you so much for watching again, and I shall see you next video.